What a beautiful morning. Wake up in your easy hab. You walk outside. Go take a peek out the window at this polluted planet dominated by slave labor and a major port. If this is your first time spawning into Star Citizen, you're probably going to spawn at Lorville, and you're probably not going to know how to get out of Lorville. So, I'm going to help you out, and no matter which level of the Easy Hab you spawn on, you're going to want to go upstairs, or if you spawn on the top floor, go directly back and look for the exit sign. This is where you're going to start your journey to get out of this hellscape. So all you got to do is, it's not very clear, but there's this button called Inner Thought. The default key binding is F, and if you hold it, it brings up this little interaction menu. And as you can see here, we have the Call Elevator button. So the first step we got to do is call the elevator to start our journey out of Lorville. When you hop in, you're going to have a bunch of floor options and a ground floor to choose from. You're going to want to choose the ground floor, but in some cases, depending on which side of the Lorville map you spawn on, you're going to want to hit Tiza Spaceport. So on the ground floor, you want to come out and you want to find this big open area. And if you look off in the distance, you can see those pipes spewing literal sewage. So that's just bathroom water coming straight out. And you can see Tiza Spaceport. This is our destination to get out of Lorville. And while it looks pretty easy to get to, it was a little tricky and probably took me about an hour to get out my first time, just to even call my ship. So as we walk through, I'm gonna sprint through. We have down there, which I believe are a couple shops, but to our left, if you look up for the red sign, it says there's a metro center. And that's the first step. That's the second step we actually gotta take, is we gotta go to the metro center, and you're gonna get a perimeter line and a spaceport line on this sign. So we're gonna follow this around, follow the little yellow brick road right here, and we come up to another sign that has the spaceport to the left and the perimeter line to the right. Tiza Spaceport. So we're gonna go toward the Tiza Spaceport line and just follow this all the way around through here. And then we're gonna wait for the tram. There's not really much else to do at this point. If you come over to this wall here while we wait for the tram, you can see, if you're from New York, you'll probably be familiar with this. If you don't really ever take public transportation, you're not going to be familiar with this. Now, you have the perimeter line west, the perimeter line east, which is the red line, which we could have taken on the other side. There's the blue line with the spaceport and the commerce line, and the commerce line connects to the spaceport line, meaning the only way to get to the commerce line is to take the metro center over to the spaceport line, and then take the green line over to Central Station, which is a place I will show you in a minute. And once you get a little more involved in the game, that's going to be your trading hub. There's ship weapons. So when the tram arrives, you just got to hop on. And again, we'll wait. Although I do have to say, as we speed it up, it's pretty gorgeous. That big building right behind the spaceport, that's the central business district of Lorville. That's where all the trading is done. That's where the headquarters of Hurston Dynamic is, who actually owns this planet. And that's really where nothing's going to happen right now, except you can buy some ship parts. There's some ships in New Deal. And I'll give a quick view of that real quick once we get there.
Please watch your step when disembarking the train.
Feel free to skip through any of this. And now that we've arrived at Tiza Spaceport, Tiza, I don't know. You're gonna look to the left, there's a wall. To the right, we have an exit sign. So we're just gonna come out here. And then if you look over here, we have the metro line to the central business district on the green line. So that means we want to go left, and you're looking for this red customs area sign. Customs is what you have to go through with every station on the ground, and that's how that's going to kind of let you know whether you're going to be at a retrieval console to grab a vehicle, or if you're headed to the Metro Center. So you just continue through, and you head up these stairs, and you see this nice red M50 Racer. Great ship, and it's about $1.2 million. If you want to continue, you can head up to this New Deal sign and check out some other ships. But what we're looking for is, after you come up these stairs, is these terminals, these yellow looking terminals. These are the vehicle retrieval consoles. So as I said at the start, you're going to want to hold F if that's your default key binding, and then click on the use button, and this is going to pull up all of the ships you own. If this is your first jaunt into the verse, you're probably going to have a Mustang Alpha, an Aurora MR, and you're going to have a Freelancer. And you're going to have a Freelancer for a while, even if you didn't purchase it, because it fixes a bug. So I'm going to click on the... yeah, it's here. I'm just going to take the Expedition. And now we're going to go through this vehicle retrieval screen. And it's actually important that you pay attention to this because it's going to tell you where your ship is. So we're in Hangar 5, and we need to remember that. So you're going to come directly back. You can use that red spacer for reference, and you're going to look up here. You have elevators to the left, elevators straight ahead, toilets if you got to use the bathroom, and commercial flights, which means nothing to us. Hang a quick left right here, and we have our elevators. So just like getting out of the Easy Hab, we're going to call another elevator. And then I'm going to take it to Hangar 5, because that's where my ship is stored. And you can see why it's important, because you can go to Tisa Spaceport, which is the floor we're on, and then there's 11 other hangars to choose from, but we wanted Hangar 5. And then when you come up, you'll see your ship. Your ship most likely will not be this big. It just happened to be the ship I had here because I was doing some trading. And I didn't want to claim a ship and have you guys wait for it. So you're going to come up. Whichever way you need to get your ship. Not all ships are the same. Some have doors directly into the cockpit. Some you have to open up a back door and walk through an airlock to the cockpit. But I will also tell you how to get your ship up and running. Oh, and also, before we continue, if I hop off this ramp, you can see we don't have an exit. We're completely locked into the spaceport. We are locked in this hangar and we can't get out until we do something specific. So I'm gonna go up my cargo lift. One second. Call the elevator. Coming? Yeah, elevator's here. And there we go. If you're just starting out, your ship will be much easier to get into. This is a 4-floor ship that I would be happy to do a tour of. So you're going to come here. You can either click F real quick, or you can hold F, bring up, and you can click on this Enter Pilot seat. Or you can just walk up and quickly click F, and you'll climb into the pilot seat. And there's a couple buttons you can use here. You can either do I to turn the engines on. You can use U, the U key. All of these are the default key bindings. That will turn on your systems, and as you can see in the bottom right-hand corner, my ship is starting to recharge its shields. I have a comms radial up here, my shield status up in the top left, targeting, which is really unimportant in this ship because it doesn't even have guns I can fire, unless I have friends on a turret. Or we can turn it all off, and if you want to quick, so you don't have to remember to close the door every time, if you hit the R key, it'll make your ship flight ready, it'll close all the exterior doors, it will turn the engine on, and it will turn the systems on so you can take off. Now, like I said, we're locked in. In Lorville, the hangar is directly above us. So how do we get out? You can either, if you have a comms radial up, which is right here, or if you hit the F11 key, it'll bring up comms. You can go to the Friends menu, and where it says Lorville Landing Services, and this works with any spaceport with a closed hangar, you're just going to look for that name, and it always shows up at the top. If you hit F11, you're going to click that little button right there, this little bottom right corner, and now he tells us we're clear for takeoff. And if we look up, now we got some sunlight in, and the hangar doors are opening. I'm gonna wait a minute because this ship basically takes up the entire hangar. But you can see the space doors are now opening. You won't probably have to wait till they're all the way open. I choose to. And if you want to know how I got into third person view when you're in the ship, you can just, or even on foot, hit the F4 key. So I'm going to take off slowly. And as you can see, now we can see all of Lorville. It really is kind of gorgeous in its own right, but there are even more beautiful planets out there. We got the Tisa spaceport signs. If we come back in, the default key binding, you're going to hit W, and you need to hold it if you're flying in coupled mode, which you should be. If you just start out, as you can see, if I let go, my speed drops. If I let go of the W key, my speed continuously drops. However, if you hit the C key, you can turn on cruise control. If you let your hand off W, your ship will continually increase until it hits this little bar marker on the left-hand side that I'm scrolling up and down. And this works on any ship. On the right here, you can see our altimeter, so we're gaining altitude, and we're flying up into the atmosphere. And if you want to turn off cruise control, just hit C again. It's important to note if you have cruise control on, even if you stop the ship with your space brake, if cruise control is on, it will immediately pick up speed again to try and hit that limit line that you've set. And you can set the limit line just by using the scroll wheel on your mouse to go up and down with it. Now that we're clearing the atmosphere, if you hit the B key, that spools up your quantum drive, and that's where you're going to be able to go to anywhere else in the system. So, if you hit the F2 key, that'll bring up your star map. This is Crusader? No, this is just Hurston. So we're on Hurston right here. And if we scroll out, we can see we have Ida, Aberdeen, Ariel, and Magda. If we continue to scroll out and back out of the system, we have a couple other places we can go. Stanton, which is the star system we're in, and if we come out even more, you have Microtech, which is New Babbage, Crusader, which has Port Olisar, which is a good trading and mining route, and then you have ArcCorp, which is where Area 18 is. So let's make it a quick jump. We're just gonna fly over to Aberdeen because that's where the prison is. And if you want to go to Aberdeen and you're in this menu, you can just click on Aberdeen, come up to the top, and hit this set route button. There is a bug where it doesn't like to set. So we click on Aberdeen, click. Okay, I'm not dealing with this right now. If you hit the B key, you'll start to spool up your quantum drive. And if you look, that's CRU-L4. It's 26 million kilometers away. You can fly just in your new normal cruising speed, but if you hit B, you're going to want to align to the target as your quantum drive spools. And you can see that I'm calibrated, which means I'm lined up. And the little thing at the top where it says spooling complete, that means my engine is ready to go. So if I hold the B key, I will start my quantum jump to it. And just like that, we have left Hurston and we've begun our journey into the verse, where you can go explore and do anything else. And with that, your journey begins, and I wish you the best of luck. If you need any help or any other tutorials, please let me know. I'd be happy to make a video on it, or you can stop by the Discord server linked in the description. If you like this video, please leave a like, maybe even subscribe. I'm going to try and push out a lot more Star Citizen content. And then, most of all, Have a great day, and thanks for joining me.